Hey friends, welcome back to part 2 of Ems Bow Go Bow Maker. So if you missed part 1, I showed you how easy it was to put the bow maker together. And now we're going to actually make a bow. If you don't know where to get your bow maker, just check out Festive Creations by Stephanie.com. You can find Ems Bow Go Bow Maker, or you can find the Easy Bow Maker, either one, at Festive Creations by Stephanie.com. So for this, I'm just going to make a very simple bow. But I will tell you, before we start making a bow, I want to talk about ribbon. Your ribbon quality does make a difference. So there is a difference in ribbon. This one, it happens to be a 1.5 inch, and it's called a royal burlap ribbon. It has nice, firm wires on the edge, and the stitching that holds that wire in is very secure. So sometimes when we purchase lower end ribbon, those wires will rip right out of the edging, and they don't hold their shape very well. So if you have ribbon that doesn't hold its shape very well, guess what? Your loops are going to be limpy. It will fall apart easily. So start out with a good quality ribbon. And of course, at Festive Creations by Stephanie.com, you can find hundreds of different types of ribbon to use. This one is just going to be a very simple one ribbon bow. Let's just start out with the basics. So I'm going to use this 1.5 inch. I placed my spool of ribbon on that little spool holder right here, which I didn't tighten down all the way first time. Sorry, guys. But you'll notice that it's coming out towards me so that it's looping this way, not away from me. Now, can you do it either way? Yes, but try to find what's comfortable for you. Now, if I decide that I want to have ribbon tails on my bow, so what's the difference between, what is a ribbon tail? So this bow does not have any ribbon tails. It's just this nice fluffy bow. It's circular, right? Nice round bow. However, if I wanted to add tails, then I would have little streamers flowing off from behind it in long streamers. And a lot of times you'll see that if you want to place a bow at the top of a Christmas tree, or there's so many reasons that you can have tails involved, but that's just one of them. I'm just looking. I have another bow over here, another example. So this one has ribbon tails. Here, let's do it this way. Ribbon tails. Look at that beautiful bow with all of those fun football colors, right? So this one has ribbon tails. And so that's the difference. When I say ribbon tails, I'm talking about these flowy tails off the bottom. And so let's go ahead and start with this bow maker. And we're going to add about a 10-inch ribbon tail. Look at the board though. Look at your bow maker. It has 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has the inches all the way out to 11 on this side and 11 on this side. So you've actually got a ruler right here on your bow maker. So if I wanted 11-inch tails, I can measure out to that. Or if I wanted 16-inch tails, I can measure an additional 5 inches, right? So I'm going to use 16-inch tails, and I'm going to place that ribbon right in between these two center pegs, the two center pegs. I'm going to push it down in there, and as I go down, I'm going to twist. You'll notice that the pretty side of my ribbon is facing upward, and there's my ribbon tail, and my ugly side is facing upward over here. Let me get my ribbon back in order. I got it all unwound earlier when I did that example. All right, so now that we have our first twist in there, ooh, there you go. Let's do that again. All right, 11 inches, twist. Now I'm going to take this and make a loop over here to the 6-inch mark. At the 6-inch mark, just make a loop as I'm putting that ribbon right there into those pegs, I'm going to twist it and push it down. Now I have one loop on the left. I'm going to repeat that on the right. So we're going to come all the way out here to the 6-inch loop, 6-inch mark, twist, and push down. Look at that. So we have one loop here, one loop there. And this is why I started with just one ribbon, because we're going to do another loop out at 6-inch, twist, come down. I want you to just practice the technique, twist, push down. So now we have 2 loops, 6 inches on each side. This time, let's do another loop, but this time let's do 5 inches. So come in about 1 inch, twist, and push down. The biggest thing that I hear from people that are just learning to make bows is, my bows don't look anything like yours. That's okay. Make your own unique bow, but get used to doing the technique. You will perfect it, and you'll make it the way you want it. That's okay. So this time we're going to do 2 loops at 5 inches on the left and 2 loops at 5 inches on the right. Twist and push down. So we have 2 rows. We have 2 6-inch loops, 2 5-inch loops, and now we're going to do a 3rd row. And this time we're going to do about 3 to 4 inches, somewhere in between there. Let's do more like 4 inches. Nope, that came out to the 3-inch mark, sorry. So let's do 2 3-inch. And this time we don't need to twist it because I want this to be the pretty side up. So it's going to make a tail. So we have a 3-inch, a 3-inch, 5 5 6 6, 5 or 6 6, 5 5, and a 3. That's all we need. Now everyone has a different preference on how to tie off their bow. Some people prefer to use zip ties, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people prefer to use floral wire, and some people prefer to use pipe cleaners. So whatever your preference is, again, find the one that you are the most comfortable with. I will tell you, if I'm making a really thick bow, or if I'm learning and practicing, a zip tie is actually a good place to start because it's going to get it nice and tight for you. So I'm going to show you with this zip tie how we're going to tie it off, but I'm also going to need either a pipe cleaner or floral wire in order to attach it to my lamp post or my wreath or whatever it is that I'm attaching it to. So for me, I'm going to use about 2 feet of floral wire and have that ready. And I'll show you why. Because once we put our zip tie under the bow, we're going to go up underneath all of that ribbon. So see where this ribbon is? I'm going to lift that up a little bit away from the bow maker, put in my zip tie, and bring it around here to the front and connect the two. But before I tighten that completely down, I'm going to lift that off, and I'm going to insert my floral wire. Now I have floral wire, something that I can tie this to, whether it be my lamp post, a mailbox, a wreath, etc. But I've got something to tie it to. Now I'll take that zip tie and I'm going to turn it towards the back side, and I'm going to tighten it completely down, as tight as you can. I'm going to take my wire cutters or scissors. I use wire cutters and snip that off. We're done with the bow maker. Now it comes time to make the pretty. So there's my tails. After I finish cutting them off, right? There we go. So there's my tails. I have my 2 loops on the bottom. I'm got the 2 loops in the center and the 1 loop on top on each side. So I'm going to take each one and I'm just going to twist it and own it. And then I'm going to take my fingers and run right along the wires, and I'm just going to lift it up and away from the surface. I'm going to do that to the next one, to where I'm running my fingers along the wires and lifting it up and away. Same way with this one, up and away. Now I'm going to do that bottom row. Give it a nice little twist so I know it's not all bunched up there. Up and away. And again, this is where it's really helpful to have good ribbon to start with. If you have ribbon that doesn't hold its shape well, does not have thick enough wires, the fabric's not very thick, you're never going to achieve this look with a ribbon that has thin fabric or thin wires or wires that don't hold their shape. And I didn't learn that right away. I got very frustrated. I'm like, I can never make a bow. Well, that's because I was trying to use ribbon from a local dollar store. And I realized that once I started using better quality ribbon, like at Festive Creations by Stephanie, it made a world of difference. All right, so you notice that, look at that. We've got our beautiful bow. And on the back, we have our floral wire. So now we can attach it to all the things, a wreath, a lamppost, etc. I'm just going to kind of twist that on there a little tighter so my wire doesn't shift around. And I took the ends of it, and I'm okay with the ends being different length. Sometimes that asymmetrical look is kind of nice. And I'm going to fold it in half to where the wires are facing each other, touching each other. And I'm going to cut it at an angle, a little V shape. And that will give me that, it's called a dovetail look. Look at that beautiful bow. Look, great for church pews, weddings, for bridal showers, for bouquets. Learn how to make a bow the easy way. It's super easy. Try one ribbon at first, and then we'll move on to a couple of different ribbons. Enjoy. I hope you guys will practice, and be sure to share what your finished bow with me at info@festivecreationsbystephanie.com. I want to see your finished look. Come on, guys. Have fun.